Hello everyone. In filmmaking, how do they take the 2 hour-long movie as a one take from the beginning till the end? Or do they break down the entire movie into multiple scenes and filming that separately? As I mentioned before, in Anime CC, once you create a new file, you are the director of your movie. You're the boss. So this is the same concept in the movie filmmaking. In Anime CC, we can create multiple scenes, and then we can combine together as a one movie, and then also we can change the order because we are the boss. We are the director. Okay, so let's get started. Okay, so this is what we did last time. Let me test the movie. So there's a photo transitioning, waiting for 2 seconds and jump to the next image. And masking effects and to the next images. So this is what we did. So if you have missed this video tutorial, you may revisit that one first. That would be helpful. I will make a link on top of my screen and then also in my descriptions as well. Okay, so there's one new thing I'm going to introduce. Under Windows menu, you can see the scene. Where are you? Scene. Okay, I made on this menu bar. So scene number one. So as I mentioned in my intro, we are the director. And then, as a director, you can make multiple scenes by clicking this. See? And you can mix the order. So that means we don't have to create the entire movie like 300 frames or 500 or 1000 frames. It's too long and then it's kind of too hard to manage it. So it would be more effective and then more manageable if you can break it down into multiple scenes, and then you can combine or you can mix it together. Excuse me. The first thing is we need to have a plan. So what I did, let me say this is kind of a main part of my the Porsches, the vehicles, the promotional video on Instagram. And then what I did, let me show you the completed file. Scene, see, I have 2 more scenes. Scene number 2, this is the one we did. And then I just added kind of intro and ending. Okay. So let's take a look. Intro has an animation. Text animation is really simple. Now we're on the scene number 2. Now we're jumping to scene number 3 soon. So this is the end of scene number 2, the one we did. And now this is scene number 3. Okay. So let's get started from there. So first, I'm back to the one we did with only one scene here. I'm going to rename this as scene number 2. Okay. And then let me create a new scene. This time, this will be named as a scene number 1. And then I want to play this at the very beginning. So let me move this scene number 1 to the very top. Okay. And then open the library. I made a link in my description. You're going to have 3 more files like this: Porsche.png, RAW.jpg, and the Spectrum. So select those 2 first to your library. Just drag and drop, and open Spectrum.psd in Photoshop. Okay, so in Photoshop file, we're going to make a copy of this background image first. As you can see that there are 2 layers: the background image layer of vehicle and then the text layer. So bottom image layer, select all and copy, and back to animate CC. And then in this new scene, scene number 1, you can check the numbers of scenes you have for now. Okay, in scene number 1, on bottom layer, just paste it. I will double check the position 0 by 0. Oops, no, it's not 0. Okay, so first, I'm going to animate it, kind of really simple fading in effect. Go to insert, highlight your first keyframe, go to insert, create classic twin, and insert the keyframe. And then move your blue playhead to the very beginning. Click on your image and your properties panel. You can change the color effect. Choose the alpha. So we have fade in effect. Okay. Now, let me add another layer on top. We're going to have the full spectrum, the text layer, at the end on frame number 24 on this new layer. So go to Insert menu. First, create the blank keyframe. Now back to Photoshop and select the full spectrum, the top layer, copy, and back to Animate CC. In this new blank keyframe, paste it. And then the location is the important. So for now, this scene number, end of scene number 1 is supposed to be linked to the very first keyframe of scene number 2. See, they are not matched yet. So you need to match it, but I already wrote down the coordination. So 11 by 138. So let's say this is the end of my scene number 1, and scene number 2 is perfectly matched. Okay, so from here, I'm gonna add some more. So let me highlight the first keyframe on frame number 24 of this text layer, full spectrum. Go to Insert menu, create Classic Twin. I will assign just only about 10 frames. So highlight the frame number 35 and insert a keyframe. And in order to keep this background image, select the frame number 35 on your bottom layer, insert a keyframe so we can keep the same image. Okay, but for now this text just pops up, which is not good. So highlight the first keyframe of your full spectrum text, click on your image, and now I'm gonna choose my free transform tool, and let me make it just big. Hold down the shift key and make it big. Also, I'm gonna change the alpha value down to 0. So it's getting smaller and fading in. Okay, so this happens. And then also let me highlight this first keyframe of my text layer, and then I'm gonna change the ease option -100, so it will be like that. That's from my mouth. Okay, so it's okay, but it's gonna be kind of a too quick, only 1.5 second animation, so I'm gonna add a little more, up to 3 seconds, and insert keyframe. So after 3 seconds of animation, it will, once it hits the 3-second mark on scene number 1, it will jump to scene number 2 automatically, because this is one movie. Let me test the movie under Control, test the movie. Scene number 1. Now we're in scene number 2. See? as a director, if you switch the order of this scene, so let me move the scene number 1 down, and let me test the movie again. Then it starts from the scene number 2. As you can see it. So we are still on scene number 2, main scene. Now scene number 1 plays. See? Okay. So this is not what I planned. So I'm gonna move back to the very top. Okay. Scene number 3. Number 3. If you want, you can rename each scene. I think that might be easier. So why don't I do that? So scene number 1, intro, and scene number 2, main, scene number 3, ending. Okay, now we just need to create the ending scene. So first, the last keyframe of second scene, the main scene, was the Porsche logo. So we're gonna start from there. So make sure you're on the ending scene. You can go back and forth from here as well. And then open the library, select your logo.jpg Porsche logo. I'm gonna set it up at the let me set to 0 by 0 point here, and I'm gonna make it just a fade out. So insert the highlight the first keyframe, go to insert menu, create classic tween, insert the keyframe, and still your blue playhead is at the end on 2-second mark. Select your image on your stage. In your properties panel, color effect, choose the alpha down to 0. So your image is fading out. Okay. Let me rename this layer as a logo layer. Okay. And let me make another new layer on top. Let me take a look at the main scene again. Scene number, ending scene. As Porsche logo is disappearing, then the road image is kind of fading in and getting smaller, and this happened. Okay, so that's what we're gonna do. Okay, so first, at the end of the this top layer, frame number 24, which is a 1-second mark, insert timeline and blank keyframe so we can import that road.jpg images. So there's a now new blank layer and blank frame, and then in the library, select your road.jpg and place it. Just try to place the that black tiny vehicle on the horizon in the center. Doesn't have to be super accurate. Okay. Then highlight the keyframe, go to insert, create classic tween, and highlight the 2-second mark, insert the keyframe. And on this, the second keyframe, I'm gonna make it kind of a little bit smaller, not too much. Let me choose my free transform tool, hold down the shift key, make it, no, I'm sorry. Let me zoom out a little bit. Hold down the shift key, make it smaller, not too much. Maybe about this size. So it's gonna be getting smaller very slowly. Okay, but also I want to change the alpha value so we can have a fading in effect. So on frame number 24 of my top layer, select your road image, open the properties, color effect, and alpha. So fading in. So your Porsche logo is fading out and the road image is fading in, but it doesn't fit to a 600 by 600 pixel. So what I'm going to do is, so 48 frames. So I'm going to add another keyframe, like 10 more on 58 or 60. It really doesn't matter. Let me do a 60. That'll be easier. Insert a keyframe, make it smaller, or let me type the number in properties panel, 600 pixel by 600. And then let me set the position. It's supposed to be 300 by 300. Okay. Okay. See it? Okay. Let me highlight the frame number 48 on my top layer, and then let me change this ease option, maybe down to negative 100. Just like this. Okay, it's good. And also, at the same time, let me take a look at this. So watch this. So Porsche logo is fading out, and then your road image is kind of fading in, and then the size is getting smaller, but at the same time, you see that kind of the new Porsche logos kind of coming in from the very middle. So that's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna make another new logo. I mean, the layer on top, and then the second keyframe of the second layer, and I'm gonna insert a new blank keyframe on the same keyframe, same number 48, 2-second mark. Go to Insert, Timeline, blank keyframe. Then in your library panel, place your Porsche.png. So this is a new file. Place it somewhere in the middle, but a little bit top. Okay, and then let me do this. Highlight the first keyframe of this Porsche logo, insert, create classic tween, and on frame number 60, insert the keyframe. Then move your playhead to 2-second mark, select your image, select your free transform tool, hold down the shift key and make it smaller, smaller, smaller. Let me zoom in a little bit more. Getting smaller and keep going and stop somewhere here. What's gonna happen is it is almost invisible because that is too tiny, but this happens. Okay, it's kind of a flipping over. And then I'm going to highlight the first keyframe of this my new logo and properties. Let me change the ease option down to -100 again. So this will happen. Isn't it cool? Okay, next. Once I have the second logo like this, then my background image is kind of fading out, but at the same time, the text is coming in full spectrum and stay for a while. Okay, so let's do that. So first, on layer 2, which is my road images here, see, I'm gonna make it disappearing. Okay, so on 3-second mark, highlight it, insert a keyframe, select your image, in color effect, alpha value down to 0. So it is gone. At the same time, I want to keep my logo. Let me insert another keyframe. So logo still stays, but only the background image is fading out. And at the same time, I want to have a full spectrum text coming in on from the frame number 60. So let me insert a new layer on the very top on frame number 60, insert timeline, blank keyframe, okay, and then let me type full spectrum. Should be okay. Okay, so this text will be fading in. So highlight that keyframe, insert, create classic tween. On 3-second mark, insert a keyframe. And on frame number 60, select your text, color effect, change the alpha value. So fading in. So background image is fading out, but at the same time, your black text full spectrum is fading in. Okay. Then I want to have just a few more seconds, maybe on 7-second mark. So select all top three layers because we want to keep it as it is. Just insert the keyframe. Let me test the movie. Intro scene. Now we are in main scene with that photo transitions. Okay. Now fading out and ending scene. Okay. That's it. Okay. Now let me save my file. Then let me export as a video because I'm going to show you how to upload it on your Instagram as well. You have 600, everything's fine. Format H264 and preset YouTube 720 HD. It will export as MP4 file. Entire movie. Okay. Okay. Export. Okay. And let me check my folder. Yep. That is this. Porsche.mp4. Okay. Let me play it. Not yet. Okay. Now it is ready. Intro scene. Okay. Now ending scenes coming soon. There we go. Okay. Now I'm gonna show you how to upload it on my Instagram. Because I'm going to transfer my file into my iPhone using the AirDrop. Okay, so let me show you how to upload on my Instagram. So let me open my Instagram account. Okay, and then it's my Instagram. Let me choose my video. Next. and next. Share. Okay, so yep, it is playing. Still on the main scene. This is the end of main scene, and we'll jump to the ending scene. See, fading out, fading in, and the logo. And it will keep looping, going back to the intro scene. See? Okay, so that's it. So thanks for watching, and then see you next time.